Hi, this is Marino from MFabric. Today I will introduce you a new component we are building from MFabric. Currently it's in development, but it should be in beta stages in the following weeks. It's called MFabric Connect, and what this allows is to integrate easily all the sources of information from your company or from your software or from your projects into MFabric without having to write scripts or write programs or ask IT for the integrations. So the idea of MFabric Connect is to provide a small program you run on your computer or on your network, and you can easily and visually configure sources and send them to MFabric. What we are going to build today is a simple integration showing how to integrate a relational database, an MQTT Broker, and a message queue into one dashboard on MFabric. We're going to be using PostgreSQL, which is a relational database, but any database will work. For the MQTT broker, we are going to use VerneMQ. MQTT is the standard for Internet of Things. It's a really lightweight protocol that allows devices to send information and telemetry to a broker. In this case, we are using VerneMQ because it's really cool, but you can use any MQTT broker. And we are using RabbitMQ for a message queue, which is a common component to have in a company or in software that it's big enough. And we will be sending those three to MFabric Connect, which will forward them to MFabric. So let's start. I have already MFabric Connect running, and this is the empty startup page because I don't have anything configured. So let's start first. If we want to create a connector, it will say we don't have any target configured. So let's go to create target. Target is where we want to send events to, because you may want to send some events to one user, one channel, and some others to other channels in the same user or another user. And also you may have one MFabric instance running in your company, and you may have a dashboard in the cloud version. So you may want to send different events to different servers or channels. So let's start with the database target. I have a local instance of MFabric running, so let's leave the defaults for host and port. My user here is Mariano, my password, and I will send db events, and I will create the target. Since we are using a database, we need a data source. Let's call it playground data source. Postgres local, because it's a connection to a database. So the name can be more generic. Now I need the connection URI. For now you have to write it here. In the future we will provide templates for all the known databases, so you don't have to remember it perfectly. So in this case it's JDBC, PostgreSQL. My database is running on localhost on this port, and I'm using this database. The username is Postgres, the password, and the driver. This is here because you may have a specific need for a specific driver for a specific version or something, or you have a really particular database, so you can load the driver you need. So let's create the data source. And now we have the data source and the target. We go and create the connector. Let's call it playground query. Let's pick auto start. This means the connector will auto start when MFabric connector starts. We will pick the source as SQL, and the target will be database target. The query will be really simple, and we want it to run every 10 seconds, and the data source will be Postgres local. Let's create it. We go to connector status. We can see the connector here, and it's stopped. So we click start. And now let's go to MFabric. I will create a new database for this. So new, let's call it connector, and create. Go to design, drop a source, configure it, select event source, and it was TV events. Let's name it database, and it should appear. Yeah, there appear one. As you can see, the content is for each. In this case, I did a select everything, but the table will remove all the events. So for each row in the database, the result will be an array with each item being a row and the columns and the values. So we can see that sometimes we get one, sometimes we get two. These are all the rows. Of course, the query can be as complex as you need with joins and everything, and MFabric will send you the resulting columns and rows to MFabric. So let's continue. Let's now create a MQTT connector. Let's click out the start. The source will be MQTT. Target, we have to create a target. Let's call it sensors. Yeah, that's enough. Localhost. And let's call it MQTT events. Click create. Go back to connector, select sensors, queue will be my topic. I already have some scripts running in the background generating these events. And the URL is the URL for the MQTT Broker. We click create. Now we go to connector status, we click start, and now it's running. Let's go back to MFabric, drop another source, select the event source, channel will be MQTT events, click OK, let's name it MQTT. Now we have information. Here we can see we have sensor ID, value type, and value. The sensor is showing humidity, some load, some temperature. And now let's go with the last one. Create connector, MQ connector, auto start. The source will be RabbitMQ. Target, let's create another target. Q target. You can reuse targets. I could send the 3 connectors to the same target, but in this case, since the format of each event is different, I prefer to send them to different targets. Otherwise, you will have to split them later in the dashboard. And let's call it my MQ events. Create. So target will be Q target, host, call host, 5672. The exchange will be my queue. Type will be direct. And now connector status, start it, go to connector, event source, MQ events. We already have one, MQ. Here the events are about requests for parts from customers. So now we have our three sources. So we could connect them and display them in a dashboard. In this case, I won't build a dashboard because of time and because there are other videos on our YouTube channel showing how to build dashboards. So I want to make this video short, but you can get something like, for example, this with the incoming data, or we can see another one of the examples. If you have sales information, I'm running a local version, so I have to reconfigure this. If you have sales data from a database and from a message queue, for example, you could build this and all without having to code anything and in less than 10 minutes, I guess. So this, as I said, this is in development and it will improve quickly. For now, we are supporting SQL, MQTT, and MQs and message queues because it's the most common thing from our customers. But please contact us on our usual channels like Twitter, Facebook, or on the YouTube comments, or by mail. and tell us which kinds of sources are the ones that interest you the most, so we can add them faster and you can start using it. If you want to be on the beta the beta testers, please contact us on these channels and we will provide you with a beta version so you can start playing with it. Thank you, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye.